What's up? Today we will be playing Taiwan in Rise of Nations and attempting to survive China. My strat, to be honest, is to get a great eco. Maybe even ally China and abuse Navy. Surviving China will likely require the help of other powers. Gonna try to ally India, Japan, Russia, Korea, and literally anyone to try and survive. We'll also probably have to deal with Japan colonizing us for Empire of Japan. Elects are still one of the best ways to make money early game. My strat is 9 gold, 9 copper elect factory in every square city, and sell 0.5 to micro islands 2 to 3, to the Caribbean, and 5 to nations like Venezuela, Colombia, Chile, and populated African nations. After doing so, max research and government spending so you can still keep a great eco after your trading pals have been invaded. As you can see, I easily am able to make a multi-million-dollar eco from just 4 factories. And depending on factory output, if you decide to make more and various other things, you can do the Computer Advancement Act for extra tax income and other benefits. To be honest, I'm not sure what China's plan is on whether he's going to rush or go for Mongolia, bang Japan, or use Japan for democracy. These China players have been freaks. Recently, I've even seen them team up with North Korea and give North Korea Japan. As you can see, I'm just a chill guy making an economy to prepare for the second communist invasion of the Republic of China. I'm not even sure if he'll do it, but it's always good to hawk tua. Prepare, getting naval doctrine to hopefully destroy West Taiwan's navy. I don't really know much about naval as I main spec doctrine and leave it at that, though today we're just doing the British strat and hoping for the best. For some reason, the Philly Fiends justified, then immediately sent an ally after I called them a freak. I was gonna go after them after winning the Chinese War. Southeast Asia had a lot of activity. Always seems to happen when I play Asia. It was way after the 75 days or so it'd take to justify, and China didn't accept my non-aggression, so I had no clue what he was doing. He just sat there for real like a chill guy. Didn't even invade those Mongolian people. Okay? So China kinda just busted all over the map. I guess Gang just waited until he could do that. Then he just left. So I started justifying on his little pals, and don't get happy I did not form ROC. Also, Japan hasn't come to kill me yet. He seemed kinda acoustic, just like China, except he can only release random islands. I started going after some random places in eastern West Taiwan and tried computer advancement. Didn't have enough elects to maintain. Allied the home of the brave just as we started playing Greece Simulator. Research caused deficit, but I didn't know until it was too late and all the trades canceled. Found some random playing as Burma, and Germany got ganged from 3 angles. After that, just killed some random Chinese province using troops. Switzerland also was struggling with Liechtenstein AI, while UK was a weirdo putting factories in Sunderland. South Africa was AI, so I immediately justified and got our trades plus factories back up. Found out the home of the brave was somehow in Shanghai, then just justified on more fellows from there. We got up to 40 million population and had like 4 Chinese provinces, before realizing I wasn't torturing myself enough, so I left and rejoined a new game as Taiwan. Also, before I left last game, I gave everything to Nigeria for fun. Then China seemed like a usual China, so I got artillery and defense while spamming factories. Just did the usual economic strat. Forgot improve infrastructure, I think. And instead of waiting for China to justify, I'd end up justifying a liberation war after building up defense for fun. I didn't expect to actually win the war, but it'd be funny for China to take extremely long to take me out, making it take way longer to form his pathetic formable. As the justification started, I tried to recruit India on our side. While he didn't invade, he gave me insane amounts of money that I spent on artillery and destroyers. China actually tried to ally. He seemed like a chill dude, but it'd be way more fun to go to war, so I ended up declaring anyway. Ended up doing static lines instead of the usual spec doctrine because India recommended it. China had troops near the water that I ended up easily killing with the Navy, plus artillery. They were also untrained, so I guess he didn't know about doctrines, but he's China, so just because he's bad doesn't mean he'll lose. Then China started being a cornball and said, Taiwan, when I declared, and Canada took China's side while he was being steamrolled by America. Saudi was annoying, and it was just yap for the first few months of the war. Then China built up like 5 destroyers randomly and started actually coming for me. Built up more artillery, India gave me like $1 billion through trade, ended up being 9 destroyers plus infantry, but still no serious gains on either side, and it was December. China brought his 9 untrained destroyers with 200,000 infantry trying to get into my mainland. So I brought my max-trained destroyer and killed a lot of his infantry. But quantity over quality, so he won and their troops got on the mainland. It was literally like 2020. So we survived a year without a single push onto the mainland, and he got 2 minor cities before he said I was wasting his time. I was kinda cooked at this point, but kept fighting for fun. The OG plan was to send a destroyer, run down Beijing, and try and cook him through there, though we stayed on defense, and I just sat there and moved artillery a bit while I waited for his next push. I also tried to push into his mainland to stress him out a bit, but he had infantry and killed my troops in the water. He didn't even build factories anywhere, so no CGs. Should have collapsed already just from that. I researched naval and arty, and we still had good eco, but he killed them both, so there was no use. Factories started not working, but I got some land back, so he only had 2 random cities. We were a year into the war now, though he'd eventually end up getting a square city and completely wiping out the Navy. He still had like 300,000 troops, but couldn't get any major gains on me. It kind of just stayed like that for a while, me sitting on defense and him trying to get onto the land so he can take over and force peace. After a bit, I just left because it got boring sitting there and hearing him yap. So that's the Taiwan experience in Rise of Nations. Subscribe for more.